title says day 65. I was kind of estimating. It's day 66. I will hopefully be forgiven for this lapse in precision. We've got some parrots. I've accidentally picked up things that I meant to disregard down the side of the mountain here. Alright, the mountain being the tree. Hello and welcome. It's nice to see you all tonight. I got off work, and then I came home, and I made chocolate chip cookie dough, which after working all day in a hot kitchen... Hi, Natasha. After working all day in a hot kitchen, there's nothing I want more than to come home and in a nice cool kitchen make cookie dough. So that is often what I do. Before I started baking, I never thought I would do it after I got off of work, but... Well, at the risk of sounding vain like I frequently do, if I could get cookies this good somewhere else, I wouldn't have to make them. And I really like a good chocolate chip cookie. But enough of my vanity, which is boundless, and you'll have more than enough opportunities to witness. What we're doing now is witnessing my attempted redemption. Now, nobody knows what happened, and it's not important, but we need to find Luca again. Whatever happened there. I totally failed the parkour, but I see now that the vines let you just like George of the Jungle, which... Immediately after saying I understood, well, there's still a little bit of implementation to work on. Ow! You know, I didn't say parkour any of those times. I think that's what's going wrong. Alright. Maybe the vines will be a nice emergency. I clearly can't be relied on too much to use them. I'm glad we found these other birds, but Luca is the bird we need to find. These birds are great. Ah, a lush cave. A lush cave generating that far up? Actually, I have to go see it, because these are my favorite kinds of places. So there already was this pool. And the moss is just growing quite up. Is it reading as a lush cave? It's reading as a lush cave even at this positive coordinate, which is quite rare. I do have to say I haven't seen that before, and there's a lot of things I haven't seen yet. But this is cool. That's a special little thing, and oh yeah, all the clay that you would expect from a lush cave as well, showing up. So very, very, very neat. I'm glad I looked down here. And if we ever needed to get a lot of tropical fish, I guess they would be spawning here, and we could go and get them from up, because yeah, it is, we need to just see how much further around the lush cave extends for. Because if it goes like into this wall, we could potentially try to set up like an axolotl thing. I don't know how they spawn, but I know they do spawn in lush caves and around water and stuff. But yeah, at least a little bit into the wall there, so... Very interesting. Or at least interesting to me. And I know you're saying, is this at all related to the title of the video? Well, there's not a literal connection, dude. Alright, so the block looks like the green shift is going to be right here to the jungle. Yeah. So, I guess it's right at like 63. Right at the sea level. Is the right around the highest of it. It just looked higher up because of the ornamentation and the how high up one side was and the other was slightly lower. It gave it a bit of a perspective shift, but still very cool and sort of because of the way that the pool is, and then all of the cliffside generating there, it looks like the moss is just creeping up the sides, as mosses want to do. And speaking of creeping up the sides, we're going to not do that. What's... I really shouldn't even have my sword out. Shouldn't have any weapons out in the jungle. I should just be swinging from vine to vine, peacefully saying hello to random cats. Maybe we should go to the treetops. After all, the last time I saw this incarnation of Luca, we saw him from the treetops. And more visibility if he happens to be nesting on top of things. So we'll just go to that incredibly tall tree there, for reasons being that it's tall. Parkour! Okay, that could have went better. Now I am stuck inside a glass cage of my own mind. We'll get out eventually. We just need to look all around the world without a spyglass for one very specific blue parrot with the incarnation of the soul of one of my old friends. Should be easy. There's a spider doing spider things there. We're going to ignore him. You know, he's doing really well. There is a vast desert. Alright, actually, I definitely have to go over in that direction. So it looks like there's a desert village there, which will be interesting to check out. I've only seen one of those ever before, and I actually died pretty quickly. Not related to the village. There's a creeper. You may have guessed what happened next. Anyway, I didn't block very much, but I'm glad to know that there's a desert over there, and we will check it out. I haven't spent much time in deserts at all, but I do know one thing about deserts, and they don't tend to have parrots. That isn't to say you couldn't bring one there, or two there. But all of this looking around is not bringing me the parrot of my dreams. How can I redeem myself if Luca won't appear? We'll do better this time. Surely he's not jealous of these. He knows that these parrots are just parrots. They're not inducted. They're not true members of the family. After all, we don't even have a house here. Should we try the parkour jump? Yeah, we can make this. Parkour! Oh my goodness. Glorious. I need feather falling. Especially if we're going to engage in parkour at this grand scale. Well, my ability to focus on this task is waning. It's not completely disappeared yet, though. But the longer I walk around in this jungle, not caring what I find as long as it's not my friend and not finding my friend, the more I think that this jungle might be the wrong place to be searching for him. Thought I saw some flash of blue, but I think it was the wrong blue. Could have been my reflection in the mirror. I should be map hacking. Very important. You know, it's not sporting, but this way you should be able to notice that birds exist or not. I don't know how far away it works from, but it'll work somewhat. And there's so few things to be hacked in the jungle that it shouldn't be too distracting. This is just what you have to do. Oh no, I have fallen. I have fallen again. There's like an Enderman in there or something. We're just going to, we're going to turn off the map hack. That was fun, but it was distracting me. And I don't know how useful it can be if it makes me lose track of what I'm supposed to be doing, which is not falling down into holes without meaning to. At least I thought that was what I meant to do. Alright. So map hacking without thinking too much about it should still be good. And I've ended up back at the temple again. So yeah, you are right. I need to the falling is scary. I need to get feather falling before I do too much of this silliness, because sometimes one can fall like a long way. Do I go with my bucket always to throw it at my feet? The sightlines are blue with the map hack, and that makes me think sometimes when they teleport around that there's a flash of Luca, but it is not to be. Well, this has been a fun circle in the jungle without finding anything besides, you know, all the cool stuff that we did find. Alright, so there's a bird over there. Oh my goodness. No, it's a bat. It's a bat. But the hitbox definitely would have helped us see if it was a bird. Well, at least we know that we can just toggle this every now and then going through the jungle and see pretty effectively from a decently far distance what's going on. No! Oh, it's gonna be so pretty. We're gonna make a big waterfall here to make it easy to come back again. But there's like huge terracotta spires, and we're gonna go find them. Unless we find Luca before we get out of the jungle, which would be great, and then we'll go right home. Parkour. Parkour. Alright, now we have a totally impassable waterway to anyone who's not me. But, on the upside, it should actually be fairly decently quick to swim through. For me, and no one else. Some kind of parrot. Looks green, though. Yes, it is green. It's alright. I'm sure it's still a very good parrot. It is, however, not. Absolutely not. And could never be confused with the parrot for which we are searching. And then I picked up all the stuff again. Why am I the way I am? And then I do this again. How is the world going to change by me throwing them back on the ground? I'll never walk over this way again. And that'll make things better. Maybe I need to build my house out here. That mountain's real cool. A golden chestplate of mending. That could theoretically be like quite good at the beginning of the game, I guess. But not that good. I mean, gold has not very good durability and slightly better than or slightly worse than iron armor. But I mean, anything with mending, if you get it at the very beginning of the game when you have nothing, it's even better than some other mod, I would think. Because if you got gold with Prot 4, it'd probably crack in a week. I don't want to fight with parrots on my shoulders. That is a terrible idea. But here we are at the borders of the jungle, near this quite beautiful desert village. And before we go off there, we're going to set these two parrots down. We're not going to go any further with them, but they were good parrots. And if we should pass this way again, near this desert village, we will take up with them and figure out what they've done. And if they, if they have tributes for us or tales of daring and heroism, then maybe they'll be inducted into the family. But we'll just keep them here as a sort of associate liaisons for a little bit. I don't think we're going to find Luca today. There's still time, but I've become distracted by this other task that I had not even anticipated, which is to look over here. I should have gotten the water before I went. I bet there's not a ton of it in the desert. Ah, never mind. There's some of it right under there. I'm ignorant. We've got like a Nile village here. They've got little setups. I actually love this. I didn't get a chance to really look at the other one that I was in. They got like a nice turquoise-ish. I guess it's probably a cyan dye on the bed. We will take the hero's tribute. Oh, they grow cactuses for their rooms. Very nice. Sensible. They're not so boring in their color scheme as some of the other places. I actually love their aesthetic. They've got so much more color going on, and orange and green is a great color combo. We've got a nice well here. A bell just sitting on the ground. I guess you could just like brush the sand away if you need to ring it. No, a camel? How fun. Do you want a pork chop? Eat your ham. Oh, never mind. I can just jump on this camel. I think we're just going to let the camel choose where we go now. I guess me and the camel are going to sit down now. We're just going to let him choose. This is who we are. Trying to figure out what I think that is over there on the other side of the water. Because it looks like one block, but it's got splotches that I don't recognize. We're going to go. because all of that, including the floating portion, looks just irresistible. And I really need to get a spyglass. But speaking of that, we might be here a long time because, well, we just have to sit on the camel and figure out where the camel wants to go. We're supposed to name the camel Fred. All right, this camel's name is Fred, but we're not going to be able to take Fred with us. We're going to have to leave him here for a little while. When we come back, though, we'll have a lead or something, and we'll take Fred home. Fred's a good name. They got a nice orange cat. This is the only village I've seen bury part of the hero's tribute of hay bales, but I suppose there could be many that do such things. I really like this village, though. I guess probably all desert villages are somewhat similar to this in aesthetic, but the terracotta alternating there, the stark contrast between all the sandiness, how they have this smooth sandstone that gives it just a very slightly different sort of texture uh, there, and it's beautiful how much they do with just a couple of colors and then a little bit of like texture accents and just like a couple of shapes, but fundamentally with just a couple different kinds of blocks. It's really inspiring, like with such few materials. I love when you find stuff in Minecraft, like this is doing to me right now, or like that jungle temple where it just sort of shows you more of what's possible. Correct, Natasha. I have not spent a lot of time in deserts. I would say basically no time. I've never been in like a large one for any amount of time. I've been in a fragment of one, like by the ocean, where I got a cactus, and for like 3 minutes, and then this is the second desert village I've ever seen. The other one is where I died the other day. And I think in some early survival world I might have been in one, but I've never lived in one. I've never like come out of another portal in the middle of one. And I've never even like traveled through one on the way home. But they're very pretty. And this, like, I can't stand how pretty this is. Uh, Back to Calvin and Hobbes, a thing I love a lot. So this is sort of like the surface of Mars there, and there was one of Calvin's alter egos was called Spaceman Spiff, and he would often go to these sort of landscapes here, which were inspired by like older comics too, like Crazy Cat and stuff like that. But that that vivid like red sand and the perfect cobalt blueness of the water, and then the lighter blue sky there, and all of the different terracotta layers there, like this is just gorgeous to me. I love it. And then here, like my other love in life is mysterious floating islands. And if I keep on walking and this is what we have, like it's it's so wonderful. It's perfect. It's just a couple hardcore worlds ago when I was dying very quickly, there was something that was really reminiscent of this place. And I wanted to live there so bad because it was so beautiful. And this is really really something. The massive jungle in the distance, and then just like this expansive desert. I gotta just keep on running and seeing where it goes. Where are we at? Negative 3K, negative 1300. We're not too far away from home. It's just so pretty. What do we have here? Mineshaft? Curiouser and curiouser. Well, there's something alive down here. Alright, so maybe this is like the end of it and it goes further in this way. Because it's got to be something. They don't go any lower. I guess we could see if they go higher. They do not. All right. Huh. Curious. Very, very curious indeed. Worthy of further investigation, I think. Maybe part of a boat. We've got more here. I shouldn't be here. It's a little sketchy. It'll be fine. So strange. Is there more right there? Alright, we've got spider webs. A mineshaft on the surface over here. Alright. And a mineshaft with rails right here on the surface. Very, very cool. Hi, Sid. No, you're asking if I ever read Narnia books, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? Yes, I have read that book, and I have read all of the Narnia books. I love them very much. I read them whenever I was a child, and big fan. But yeah, you know, you just had to believe that the mineshaft would be around, and we found it. We might have to, okay. See, there you go. The mineshaft's not safe. It's not stable since it's here on the surface. That's so funny. Or at least a little bit funny. I don't know if this doesn't happen often, but I haven't seen it before. And it's very, very strange to my eye. But this is just a badlands biome, and the water is just part of the badlands biome. It's not a river or anything. And the lapis is just right here at 46, which is a pretty high lapis. But we might be in like the middle of a mine shaft. Yeah, we got gold right here too. I don't know if Badlands normally generates stuff like this. So I think it's probably our proximity to the mineshaft, but let us not look the gift gold in the mouth, as nobody says, because that's not a thing. Let us just mine the gold. People do say that. But perhaps there is gold aplenty in the Badlands. Gold in them their hills, as people do say, but not, you know, if they're trying to act like they want people to listen to them. Yeah, the Narnia books, I love them. They have their issues, I think. I did not orphan them. I left them to watch The Village. And I didn't do anything to their parents, which is what orphaned means. But, yeah, my favorite Narnia book is called Prince Caspian. I loved Prince Caspian. And then there's one called The Horse and His Boy, which was like a young boy who escaped servitude and a talking horse. And I absolutely loved that book. It was so fun to me. I used to all the time wish that I could meet a telepathic talking horse and we could get in adventures. And I would try to solve his problems and he would try to solve mine. But as you may have expected, because I have not brought up such a horse before, I never was to meet such a horse. This mineshaft actually seems like it's going to be quite a perilous one, right? Because there's all the sand everywhere. Being on the surface makes it more likely that I'll fall down in hilarious ways, but this is, you know, we're here for the experience, and we'll fall down a little bit for the experience. I need some coal. So the thing about this mineshaft is, it occurs to me that the zombie has converted to drowned. The water made a convincing case. And now they are drowned. So if it's here in all the terracotta, if ore actually generates, it's going to be very visible, right? But maybe this weird generation is merely going to cause problems. We're just going to keep on running around. Alright, we got the spider spawner, so we're going to crack it. And there is someone shooting us, but I don't think it's where we were looking. We'll just put a little bit of distance here. The problem is I don't have coal, which normally you would just get. You know, you would look around. Might have some in one of my bundles, but they're not organized or accessible enough. Ah, yes, Prince Caspian is the Narnia one. So the Narnia books, they tend to use slightly different protagonists one-to-one. So like the Pevensies, Lucy and all them. Lucy's my favorite, as you may be able to anticipate. But they're like central figures, but they don't always show up. They only show up in like half of them. Then there was one called The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which I also loved a lot because I like boats and adventures and the seas and that kind of story where people go off and explore things. And that's where Prince Caspian, from the book Prince Caspian, goes off on like an exploratory journey to the end of the world. And I love it so much. One of my favorite characters in like any of fiction, but my favorite Narnia character, Reepicheep, figures prominently in that book. Reepicheep is a very heroic mouse, and or is he a rat? Anyway, he uses like a sword. He's very brave and very inspiring as a figure. And it's pretty embarrassing that I can't remember what kind of rodent he is. This is exactly the sort of thing that they would get upset with me about. Ow, I've fallen down again. It's probably like a plot point that he doesn't want to be called one or the other. If I had time to think about it, I would be able to remember. But right now, in the heat of the dance in electronica, and trying to figure out what's going on with this mineshaft, I can't remember if Reba Chief's a rat or not. Whoa, okay. There are illustrations of him in some of the books, and he's kind of little, but not that little. There's some gold there. Not worth going all the way over there for it. So maybe ores just can't generate in terracotta, and the mineshaft being in here is weird. Maybe it goes further down. We need to figure it out. I just need... Alright, if I can't find coal, I'll make some. But, and then there's one called The Magician's Nephew that's like a big prequel, and it's awesome too. It's like, it explains where the witch in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe comes from, but I won't talk more about that. Just to say that she's an inspiration to anyone who admires excessive taking of vengeance. Not that anybody should admire that. But as a character in fiction, it's a thing that I tend to go for. I love when someone's like presenting like a big thing to someone, like, no, you should do this. You should let go of your hatred and, you know, like be the bigger person. They're like, I don't care. Alright, so a mine shaft, it's gotta have mine carts, right? It's gotta have a mine cart with a chest to reward me for going in it, because they all have. They all always have. But they don't all always go down directly. I think actually, yeah, if we go down that far, even just a couple without seeing a level, it probably means there's just not a level that way. This, the weirdest mineshaft ever, is not going to make me give up. I think I saw coal. I did not see coal. At this point, it would be faster to just make charcoal. Hey, coal. It would no longer be faster to make charcoal. At this point, it would be faster to have managed my inventory at literally any point in the past. Like, I don't know. It's not very obscure, I think. The Princess Bride, it was a film and also a novel, but it has a character with a very iconic revenge line, and he doesn't give up, and he's a hero for that. You never want people to give up their vengeance. Not if you're me. I'm just going to toss all of these cacti. No, I'm going to toss all this terracotta. Alright. Now we've got like several hundred torches, which means we can figure out for sure what's going on with this stupid mine shaft. Ah, and it leads us to a dead end, or... Well, I found gold, but I don't think it's because of the mine shaft. I think I just found it. And then I jumped into gravel, because that's smart. But the Princess Bride does sort of start off slow, but I'm sad that you didn't give it more of a chance. I don't want to hassle you, but it makes me sad to think that you would put it and the Notebook in the same like realm of things, although maybe you just mean that they are two movies that ended there. Because the point of The Princess Bride is that it's not actually like this boring romance thing at all. But the novel is super excellent because it's written as if there's a guy who was read a book as a kid by his father, and he wants to get the book for his child. And then when he finds the book, he realizes that it sucks, and it's boring, and it's got all this junk in it. Like, I shouldn't say like a Russian novel, because I love them, or like a French novel, because I love them, but like that. Like when Victor Hugo goes on for a couple hundred pages about architecture and sewers and municipalities and how the police work and stuff like that. And most people are like, who cares? And the idea is that that's what he found in this book, and he was going to make a good parts version of it to show his son so that his son would like it. But of course, the book didn't exist in the first place. He made the book up, but he was pretending throughout the book that he had found it and was trimming it down. So he has all these little parentheses that are him like delivering commentary on the book, like, here's where I chopped out 60 pages of them arguing about this stuff, and just like going on. And I really like it. It's very very meta. And then in the film, they have that sort of position be taken by a grandfather reading a young famous actor a storybook. But The Princess Bride, I think, is like hysterically funny and just like brilliant as an adventure movie in general. It really does have it all. When the grandfather is pitching it to the grandson at the beginning, and the grandson's like, I don't know, that sounds kind of boring. Like, it's not. It's so good, and it's got it all. All right, am I gonna give up on this mine shaft? I just don't understand it, right? Like, does it go further up? Nope, that's, ha ha ha! Tried to get me, mineshaft, but I'm too clever. Not too clever to not do it again. Alright. Have I gone mad? Again? The good news is it's very pretty up here. The bad news is I have no idea what's going on with that mine shaft, and I think I'm going to give up on it. I hate to do that. We can always come back some other time and try to think about it, that's... I love it. I mean, I'm sure that it generates, you know, that seam at the same point, but it's so interesting to just go around and you have like that seam of white and that band of regular like sediment formation through it. It really gives it that genuine geology sort of feeling. I love cherry groves, but I think Badlands might be my favorite biome. Like Badlands with a desert by it or intersecting into it, because it's just, these are like a perfect color scheme. It reminds me of, oh man, whatever level that is in Tetris. Don't let me lie to you. Let me look it up. You know, 9, yeah. It's like 8 and 9. Why could I not confidently state that it was like 8 and 9? It's been a long time since I played Tetris, but I swear I shouldn't have had to look that up. Head full of pudding. But we've got, it looks like little groves of badland things above either side. So we're going to go over that way. Not just because I think it'll be pretty, although I do, but because, you know, we probably will get a unique biome there for the advancement that we'll never get to go to everywhere. But we have been into a deep dark, I think, you know, when we sneaked and then sneaked right back out. So one step closer there. The dirt is weird up here. Coarse? Yeah, coarse dirt. And this is a wooded badlands, which we've been to one of these before, but not in this world. It's just so pretty. We got another portal over there. Looks like we're gonna go visit it. Oh, okay, well, we're not gonna fall down in here, I hope. I'm like, how much of this is sand? Should I say anything like that out loud while we're still running over it? Nah, I'm not that superstitious. Ah, a skeleton with no pants on. It's alright, man. You won't need them where you're going. A pile of bones needs no pants. That's not like an aphorism that everybody says, but they should. We get another block of gold, very nice, and then another gold chest plate of mending, pretty cool. We're just gonna leave here. It occurs to me that I could try to, like, use the nether to travel home. That would be daring. Or at least we could go, like, in the vague direction of spawn and then jump out whenever I got bored or antsy about it. It's probably what people do. But I'm not done exploring here yet. This is so cool. It's just so pretty. But here, let's check in the advancements for adventure. Because there's one to go to every place. And it doesn't tell you what your progress is. I don't think. Or maybe it tells you what your progress is. But yeah, it tells you what your progress is on them. But it does not say which you've done and which you haven't done. I just don't know which part of it it's at. adventuring time. 32 out of 53. So we still have to go to 21 more places. So, you know, that's not bad. I think exploring all the places is definitely my favorite thing to do. Of all the advancements, besides figuring out who the pillager is at any given moment, what I really like is doing that. There's a lush cave azalea there. It's a beautiful, beautiful bright green. There's actually several of them dotting around here in that badlands. I kind of want to go and look closer by smashing the bottom with my feet. Why didn't I just put the water bucket down? It would have looked pretty and been the traditional way to descend. Oh no, not a big strong drowned. How will we ever deal with such a creature? Oh, he fell over. Alright, good news, guys. I found another weird mine shaft. Like, are you literally joking? Who's trolling me right now? Actually, this doesn't make me mad. It sort of looks like a broken Torii gate in a weird way. But, observe. Here we are in the river with one single block of rail. Look over there. At the one spider web. Like, whatever. You know, let's see if this one's any different than the other. But first, we're gonna do this the right way this time. We're gonna make a chest first, then throw everything away later. We can't put the dark oak logs up because they're the whole reason we're on this trip. And being me, I might not come back. Prot 3 is too good and relevant to give up, and so is gold and iron. Alright, feels fine. We're down to 16 pork chops. We need to cook some mutton. We'll work it out here in a second. Alright, let's see what's going on with this. Alright, so we've got a cave spider spawner thing right here out in the open. We'll just go ahead and crack that. Easy peasy. A skeleton is rattling most rattlingly. We're just gonna mainly ignore him, as long as we can anyway. Oh no. Oh, we'll be okay. Hey, we finally got a little deeper into the in the mines. They still don't have anything down here. They are without a doubt the worst miners I've ever heard of. One of the bundles has a small amount of space. One of them has dumb things like seeds and stuff in it, and you know, rotten flesh and chicken. But lots of the stuff in lots of the bundles is decent. In conclusion, it's not kind of cool if they're towards the top. They never have any ores in them, which is fine. But where is the minecart? They gotta have minecarts. At least this one... What? At least this one's got a weird chain thing holding that part up. You know, I haven't found tons of mines, but this one doesn't feel normal. I need to get flame on my bow. That skeleton being caught on fire, not by me, made me think of all the times I used to catch skeletons on fire myself without needing help from the sun. Things were good then. Have I ever got lost in a mineshaft or cave? I mean, yeah, like every day that I ever go into a mineshaft or cave, dude. I would say I never know where I'm at whenever I'm inside one of these things. Another spawner. Quite easy to get to and crack. Alright. I'm not lost that time, I just didn't know where I was going to lead down there. And if that sounds the same as being lost, it's not the same, it's just similar. Not identical. But we're going to check out these pathways where all of those monsters were earlier, where we just sort of ran right past it. And it looks like they mainly despawned, and as I say that, they have not. But we will heroically slay a skeleton. Looks like there'll be another little creepy room. Oh, it looks real creepy from this angle. And we'll crack that spawner, and before we know it, even more spiders will be gone. And we will pick up the experience, such as it is. And I think this is like the other end of that hallway, where we already cracked the one. And we'll just come through, because I remember seeing, I was like, man, there's a lot of spider webs there, and I think that's exactly what we have going on there, yeah. So there was one outside right here. So they generated on either side. Interesting stuff. Oh, well, you know, I was going to try to build up. But I am not going to do that anymore. You know, I don't think there's anything in this mine shaft. I think they bamboozled me. Maybe there's another mine shaft, like, way underneath this one. Who knows? Not me. So we got that one spawner already. Is there going to be another one at the end of this incredibly long hallway? But, you know, unironically, yeah, no, it's just 1,000 cobwebs. Master Troll. Alright, in conclusion, I'm with you guys. I think they trolled me, which is fine, you know. Not every mineshaft has to be functional, and not everything in the game has to make sense. If that was the first mineshaft I found, though, I would be like, I would think to myself, well, maybe if you go down further, and there wouldn't be anything, you would just be going down further. But I guess you don't want to see a mine shaft on the very surface, like by a river. It doesn't bode well. At least this one doesn't. But then maybe I'm not finding it. After all, we've got tons of his. This is so many azalea trees. Maybe each of these beaches are individually generating as biomes, because it just seems like I'm more used to seeing one or two, and this is... I mean, we had seen it earlier when there was a large lush cave, but here we've got, like, in the same, just tiny section that appears to be the same biomes, we've got six of them. And I will skillfully block the creeper's explosion, leading me to come to no harm. Lots of monsters at night here in the desert. I mean, I guess they're everywhere, but here you have such high visibility that it's noticeable. More so. It looks like we've got a ton of clay there. Probably another lush cave peeking out towards the surface. Yes, that's exactly what it is. So, after saying I hadn't seen it before, and I hadn't, we see it again. But this is gorgeous. Look! It's so bright! This is really something. Let's wait till daytime and then take a look at it. I mean, isn't it just pretty? Enderman whoops tonight. He drops 3 eyes? 3 eyes, very nice. Good old looting 3. But this is... It's so pretty because it's like a little... It's it's got the terrace. I mean, it's you know, the terrace that you find in the caves, but it's just like a little beautiful swimming pool here, and then you can probably go through the bottom here and crack in, which is just what we're gonna do. Let's see what it looks like. It looks like a lush cave. That is wood, and that makes me think that we found a mine shaft. Probably a proper mine shaft. Yep, there it is on the other side too. So pretty funny. And chain going all the way down. So we found a mine shaft, but if we didn't act quickly, we wouldn't have been able to see that it was there at all. Never mind. There's more of it here. We've got a weird mine shaft in the land of weird mine shafts. We are getting trolled once again by catching on fire. Alright. Hey, this mine shaft actually has materials inside of it, so we're way ahead of the other one. We left all the other stuff in that one thing. Man, I've been on fire forever. Easy. Yes, Renee, right around midnight, you know, maybe a few minutes after. I usually end up ending a few minutes after, but not a ton after that. Another weird clay room here. And we pierce through the wall. What? What? So we have found a... we already knew the lush cave was intersecting here, but it's happening in very interesting ways, like with a lily pad just creeping up into it. And the water in general, like, I mean, and this is the most interesting abandoned mine shaft I've ever found. By a pretty wide margin. Whether or not we ever get anything from it. Oh, and now we're being shot. It's funny because in my other world I was making the artificial lush cave, and then you know, that mine shaft was down there underneath my house there, and then this is an artificial, or rather a real lush cave that exists like really down here, and then there is a mine shaft that intersects with it right underneath the amazing swimming pool. It's just so pretty. So you're saying it's amazing how each world gets prettier? I know, right? I know. A great joy. That's the sort of thing you can't get if you don't die. A witch! He did not have time to do anything but hurt and die. You know, that is how to react to an enemy. Swiftly, mercilessly. But almost up to a stack of iron, and we got a stack of gold, which is going to get us so much, you know, rails. I was going to say so many materials for various purposes than, you know, rails. Just basically rails. I can imagine using stuff for other things, but I can also imagine rails. It's just got to go down further. Actually, it occurs to me that we were not ready for nether travel right now. I don't have a suitable pickaxe. This one will crack before too long. So I either need to find a lot of enemies or some experience-bearing ores. Or get my act together. There we go. Some lapis. Experience-bearing ore. Coal's experience-bearing, but copper is not. Diamonds are. Lapis is. Redstone is. Gold isn't. Iron isn't. Well, anyway, that was a good time. Now I'm going to try to get out of here, or not, whichever comes first. Or the inventory space. You know, what do I drop? The terracotta? Then I'll just pick it up again as soon as I walk over it. Let's walk the other way. And then whenever I get lost and walk back over it, I can say, what? Who could have anticipated this eventuality? Or, you know, something suitably ironic. I just want one of those dumb minecarts so that I can think that I, like, found part of the stuff, but... But I don't think I'm gonna find one. But I am exactly as likely to find one as I am to find my way out. How's Renee really gonna ask me if I've ever been lost in a cave or a mine shaft? Yeah, a few times. Oh no, I have fallen into the lava. We will just cool off in the water, and everything will be okay. This won't be the way in, but it could be an interesting way out, and we'll just follow it up for a bit. At least I don't think it'll be the way in. It actually might be. Okay, no. But that is a way out, and it looks like it's going to be very pretty. Alright. It's like, do we parkour across? No, definitely not. Do I throw all of my torches on the ground? Yes, apparently, yes. We almost fall over, because of standing on the drip stone or the drip leaf, but we move over in just enough time. So it looks like here what actually happened was a waterfall and a lava fall generated next to each other, generating that little separation cobblestone cast. Yep, there's the waterfall and there's the lava fall. And so we'll emerge here in a desert. And what a momentous discovery it would be in a desert to look in and see that. And you think, oh, wonderful, a waterfall and a crazy little lava thing. And then you go in and there's a lush cave. And then a mine shaft with nothing in it. And you are, you know, because you've been in the badlands and the deserts, you just think mine shafts never have anything. We're going to run in this direction now. I don't really know which direction it is. It could be back the way we've come before. But there's a jungle over there. Yeah, I think it's further from where we've been before, which is just where we want to be. Low on food, actually very low on food. I need to eat pretty soon or we're not going to be able to sprint. There we go. Just going to keep on putting distance between ourselves and all of these guys. And we will just put our pickaxe into the left hand. That's only important in case they're like endermen or something. We don't want to forget that we don't have a shield. We got a little miniature dude. Oh, and they do the poison. It's not like a bad poison. It is just a miniature poison. Yeah, just a miniature poison. But we just want to make sure we get the little guy there. And then we can dispatch the rest of them a little easier here. Man, there sure are a lot of them. There's a little one on us. Let's go ahead and get our shield out here. Or no, we've been struck with more poison. That's what was on us. Alright, there we go. Even more zombies are dead. Man, they are really, really laying it on thick tonight. Oh no, falling damage. Outrageous. But there's a nice bamboo forest over here and a nice ocean. Oceans are good, of course. Nice to travel on. You can see a lot of stuff. You can see archaeology sites if they exist. Is that a reef? Is that a reef, like, directly next to everything here? Yeah, they pulled out all the stops. They had the extras. They had the walk-ons. They put out a public casting call. They're like, if you want to put your arms out forward, boy, have we got a job for you. Yep, that is exactly what it is. You have a coral reef here. It's just too beautiful. I don't know where I want to live. I don't know where I need to build my house. I used to think I knew, but like maybe I need to build it on that hill and have a bunch of pandas. Maybe I need to shoot this creeper or that creeper or that creeper. How will I know which creeper I'm supposed to shoot first or second or third or miss? These and other questions will be answered, or not, as we go on in the future. But there's only one thing that I am sure of, and that's that this video has got to end really soon. But we're supposed to be thinking of finding a place to live, maybe. You know, we don't have to find it today, and it's a good thing too. Looking around at the drowned. No tridents, no tridents. Very disappointing. It's not going to take as long as it took last time to get one. But we also have no hilarious need to keep track of the stats, so I'm going to let them live so that they can tell their friends to bring a trident. We're going to go over into the jungle, even though I forgot that's where we were trying to go. Sleep for the night, and then just look around one more time and see if we can see Luca, perhaps in this span of the jungle. But even as pretty as all these places are, I think it's likely that we'll just set up around spawn there, just because, one, the inertia of already being there, two, Garuda's already there, so we won't have to, you know, cajole him into a different place. Three, I was going to sleep, but I think waiting for the sunrise over this is... Oh, it's a clearly better choice, isn't it? Alright, we've got several parrots up and around, so potentially promising. We're just going to shoot some of our foes here. I think I still need the long distance skeleton duel, but we'll get that some other time. Much more interested in, oh, that's a spider at the top of a bamboo. I just thought it was a parrot because of the map hack. I don't want to let the spider stay there in spite of it being very brave. There we go. And those boxes are for fallen arrows, but only 2 of them are. And the other one's for the items. Okay, well then. And experience gets 1 too. Luca! Luca! Well, you know what that means. It's time for us to make a boat and get out of here. Can you make a raft out of bamboo? Oh, I made dark oak wood. I wanted planks. Oh, I already had the planks. Alright, get in, Luca. It is time for us to go. Come on, get in the boat, buddy. Yeah, the boat. The boat, Luca, the boat. Luca, the boat. Here, I'll back it up and you can just jump into the boat. We're gonna make this work. But this, you know, we're 5,000 blocks from home. Alright, we got Luca into the boat, guys. And as we head this way, that is more or less towards home, we know that whatever happened in the past isn't going to happen this time. Everything's going to be better than this time. We're never going to die. It's all going to be good. There's another coral reef right here. I can't stand it. It's so pretty. It's just like right on the land too. That's so beautiful. And I want to like section it off with glass and drain the outside, not the inside. Like you would think it would be like in the deep ocean, and instead it's just like right here. Look, Luca. Look at the beauty of the natural world. But this world really is something, isn't it? I'm glad that I could be in it. Glad I could share it with all of you. But the time for ending is upon us. With the beautiful azalea bushes everywhere, indicating for the lush caves and the promises of the future. So too, I can indicate for the promises of the future, but the future of this stream is to be over very soon. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I really hope you've enjoyed. And when we return, it's just going to be running 4,500 blocks home with Luca to get home safely. I'm sure it's gonna be totally good. He got in the boat. After all of that, now he got in the boat. But with Luca faithfully on our shoulder, or around our shoulder, we'll be able to run across the land, not getting distracted, not attacking anyone, not doing anything to make anyone in danger, just good, wholesome traveling, and that's what we'll do next time. I do work tomorrow morning, Sunday. well, this morning, it's now past midnight. But tomorrow afternoon, I don't work, or rather, tomorrow night. So hopefully we'll have a stream then. Not sure exactly when, but hope you've enjoyed this episode. I feel like we've been to some beautiful new places, some interesting new stuff, and a different color scheme than we've been used to. It's always nice to mix it up a little bit. And this level 8 and 9 Tetris scheme, very appealing overall. And as I look at those taunting spider webs of the most useless mineshaft in the existence of the world, I think, doesn't matter, got Luca. So, bye guys.